Rachel Zegler has caused herself so many problems by locking her Twitter/X replies, having paparazzi photograph her in no tears left to cry sweaters, combined with her awful Snow White interviews. But they just released the full trailer for her upcoming Hunger Games film, and it is getting roasted by people who are mad at her. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media so you can see when my content is posted, and of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and live streams I create, consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. Now, basically, everything that Rachel Zegler has done over the past few months has been scrutinized. People are pretty pissed off at her. People are just very disappointed that another up-and-coming actress acts like she is the best thing since sliced cheese. She has a massive ego, and she doesn't actually really care about what her critics say, what fans of the franchises that she's part of are saying. She just kind of dismisses that and says that I'm right, you're wrong, I'm better than you. And it sucks. She is everything wrong with Hollywood and modern day actors. Absolutely no gratitude whatsoever towards the fans that she needs to show up to watch her movies. But of course, there hasn't been much promotion for the upcoming Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes film, simply because of the strike that is going on, and Rachel Zegler is part of that. I mean, she got in front of the cameras and made sure to say, I deserve every penny for what I'm doing. And people did roast her for that one too. But we have seen a few small bits and pieces of information. I think as time goes on, we are going to see more from maybe not the actors themselves, but directors, producers, since the director has already done one interview for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. But the full trailer has finally released 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And I've got to be honest, I liked the previous Hunger Games movies. They're almost nostalgic for me because of how big Hunger Games was, when I was a bit younger. And the movies were fine, don't get me wrong, but I've definitely seen people saying, first of all, why do a prequel? Okay, we understand Suzanne Collins did the prequel book, but people are so sick and tired of prequels, especially ones focusing on the villain. This is something that we've seen so many times recently. It's like one of Hollywood's only moves. It's one of the only things in their playbook. Of course, President Snow was a very hated, but clearly very thought out villain. He had a lot of detail, and of course they decided, you know what, let's just do a movie with him, a movie centering on him. And of course Rachel Zegler's character Lucy is the love interest, which is kind of funny to me, seeing as she has straight up admitted with Snow White it's not a love story anymore, because not every story needs to be a love story, even though she's part of a love story now. Seems a little bit hypocritical to me. I mean, obviously she's an actress and she gets hired for certain jobs and she has to play a part, but apparently she threw a fit with Snow White and was giving the director a hard time, allegedly, because she wanted it to be less of a love story. But of course, this trailer has not been the most well received. It's got 1.1 million views on the Discussing Films upload, and people are definitely a bit torn on this. There are people who are saying things like, I'm excited, I preferred the other movies, but I think this one will be okay. But then you have people just destroying it, saying this looks terrible, there is no way anyone is watching Hunger Games without Jennifer Lawrence. Now, I do think that this movie is going to do pretty well because it's Hunger Games. It's been a couple of years since we had the last Hunger Games film. People are, some people are pretty excited for it. Just the name Hunger Games sparks a lot of hype for people. But I do think that because it's not the cast of characters you already know, like Katniss and Peeta and Haymitch, there is going to be a bit of an issue. I think it's going to do okay in theaters, though. People are saying things like Jennifer Lawrence is far superior than Rachel Zegler. People are also memeing on the costumes. The costumes in this are supposed to be a bit wacky, of course. the first few Hunger Games films had a certain style with the Capitol. I have to agree. I'm not a big fan of the skirt slash almost kilt look, but that's just the design that they went with. This is gonna flop very, very bad. The actress ruined it before it's out. I mean, yeah, people do not want to support a film with Rachel Zegler in it. She really has ruined her public image. She has been, thrusted into the roles of, Lucy, as we can see, Snow White. She was in Shazam. She also was in West Side Story. So she really has had a lot of opportunities. And I think that it's really gone to her head at this point. They also, of course, uploaded the official trailer onto YouTube. And while it is not getting ratioed, it's definitely not doing that good for them. 24,000 likes, but there's 9.3k dislikes. So again, not a ratio in terms of, dislikes, but there's a lot of people here who, are upset, and the comments, of course, are filled with people questioning this and memeing on her. It's the things we love the most that destroy us. That line always gives me goosebumps, the good old Rings of Power format. Some people are saying that I'm actually really excited for this. The first trailer gave me goosebumps, and I'm glad that there are people out there who are super excited for this film, because I don't want content to be released and then nobody enjoy it. I want things to come out and be good, but I'm just very skeptical at this point, and I personally do not want to monetarily support it because of Rachel Zegler and her giant, giant attitude. You also have other threads being posted that people are, in the comment section of saying things about her. Discussing Films, of course, posted the poster, and there are people saying things like, meh, I don't want to watch anything with Rachel Zegler anymore. Wasn't keen at the start, but with Peter Dinklage in, this may be good. And I think it's hilarious that Peter Dinklage is one of the main characters in this alongside Rachel Zegler, because he is one of the reasons why the Snow White remake slash reboot slash adaptation, whatever you want to call it, is probably going to fail. She was definitely a big part of that, don't get me wrong, but when he, went into an interview and slammed Disney for having 7 dwarves, and then they decided, oh, we're not going to do that anymore, he really did help doom this film, because now we're getting the 7 magical creatures slash 7 magical companions that just look like homeless bandits. And yeah, I mean, he was one of the reasons why this movie is gonna fail. There are people saying things like, meh, not gonna watch it, not gonna support it. I'm not really that interested because of Rachel Zegler's attitude, how embarrassing, just a lot of negativity surrounding this film. And it still might come out, it still might be awesome, it still might be a decent watch, but at the end of the day, I do think that this is going to lose a lot of potential viewers because of Rachel Zegler and her attitude over the past few months. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.